On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Smartphone.
A mobile phone that functions as a computer and connects to the internet.
Examples:
Smartphone app developer. Smartphone addict. Internet traffic volumes have increased significantly with the advent of smartphones.
Miniature.
Being on a very small scale.
Examples:
Miniature camera. Miniature version. He did complicated pen and ink drawings like medieval miniatures.
Hooked.
Being caught or caught up in something, curved down like an eagle's beak.
Examples:
Hooked hair. Hooked on drugs. My son was hooked on the internet.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Chip.
A small fragment of something broken off from the whole, a long and thin piece of potato fried in oil or fat.
Examples:
A chip of wood. I don't care a chip. We can use this campaign as a bargaining chip in the negotiations.
Upload.
To transfer digital data or files from a local computer or device to a remote server or network, the act of transferring such data or files.
Examples:
Upload files. Upload documents to the portal. I need to upload these pictures to my computer to edit them.
Download.
To transfer data or files from the internet or computer network to a user's computer or device. Noun, the process of transferring data or information from a remote or central computer to a local computer or device.
Examples:
Download files from the internet. Download the assignment from the website. I need to download the latest update for my computer's operating system.
Consult.
To seek or get advice or information from a person, book, or other source having special knowledge on a particular subject.
Examples:
Regularly consult with a doctor. Consult my wallet. Always consult a lawyer before launching a business.
Intimate.
Having a very close friendship, personal.
Examples:
My intimate affairs. Intimate relationship. He has an intimate knowledge of American history.
Reliable.
Worthy of being relied on, trustworthy.
Examples:
Reliable access. Guarantee reliable delivery. Trains are reliable, inexpensive, and ideal for long-distance travel.
Interpret.
To explain or assign the meaning of information, actions, etc.
Examples.
Interpret a graph. Interpret the question. Different people might interpret this news differently.
Evaluate.
To assess or estimate the quality, significance, quantity, or value of something.
Examples.
Evaluate the grant proposal. Evaluate a situation. The meeting aims to evaluate possible choices.
Fake.
Not genuine, fraudulent, or counterfeit.
Examples.
Fake police officer. Spread of fake news. The Prime Minister was not well prepared for the debate and faked it.
Feat.
A notable or impressive achievement, especially one that requires great skill or bravery.
Examples.
Intellectual feat. Feat accomplishment. It is an incredible feat to climb Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world.
Modern.
Of or belonging to the present time or recent times.
Examples.
Modern poetry. Pre-modern agricultural society. Their headquarters are in a modern skyscraper.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples.
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Swath.
A strip of land, especially a long, narrow one, a large amount or quantity of something.
Examples.
A large swath of territory. A swath of green grass. The charity organization has helped to provide education to a vast swath of the population.
Isolate.
To physically or socially separate someone or something from other people or things.
Examples.
Isolate a compound. Isolate a patient. You should not isolate them from the community.
Bubble.
A thin, round, and often transparent mass of gas that is surrounded by a thin layer of liquid, a state of economic or social prosperity that is unsustainable and eventually collapses.
Examples.
Bubble in the champagne glass. Economic bubble. Many people worry that the current real estate market is a bubble that could burst soon.
Polar.
Relating to, or close to, the North or South Pole, characterized by complete opposites.
Examples.
Polar bears. Polar regions. Polar animals are graceful and efficient swimmers.
Analytics.
The systematic computational analysis of data or statistics, information resulting from this analysis.
Examples:
major in analytics, analytics tools. Advanced analytics is helping the business to make better data-driven decisions.
Satisfy.
To make somebody pleased by giving them what they want or need.
Examples:
satisfy a desire, satisfy a user's needs. Did this response satisfy your request?
Preference.
A stronger liking or interest for something or someone than another thing or person.
Examples:
his meal preferences. A particular preference for Chinese art. Her preference is comfortable clothing over fashionable ones.
Inflate.
To fill something with air or gas so that it becomes bigger and rounder.
Examples:
inflate a tire. Inflate expense reports. She inflated the balloons for the party.
Paradoxical.
Seemingly contradictory or absurd because of having two opposite features or facts, though it is probably true.
Examples:
a paradoxical anecdote. Apparently paradoxical. It is paradoxical that the French, who prefer animal foods, live longer than people in other countries.
Polarization.
The division or separation of something into two opposing or contrasting groups or factions. The condition of being polarized or having poles.
Examples:
polarization effect. Dielectric polarization. The polarization of political views has created a deep divide in the country.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Tactic.
A method or strategy used to achieve a particular goal or objective.
Examples:
an imprudent tactic. Alternative tactic. The coach implemented a new tactic to win the game.
Redesign.
To design something again, especially in a different or modified form. Noun, the process of designing something again.
Examples:
redesign project. Redesign of lifestyle. The company is planning to redesign its website.
Digital.
Processing or storing information as a succession of 1 and 0 to show that a signal is present or missing, relating to the use of computer technology, especially the Internet.
Examples:
a digital watch. Digital electronic signature. Sensors convert physical phenomena into digital signals.
Platform.
The raised flat space close to the track at a train station where passengers get on or off the train. Technology, a computational or digital environment in which a piece of software is executed.
Examples:
An arrival platform. A digital platform for enterprise. The speaker mounted the platform and started to speak.
Susceptible.
Easily influenced, harmed, or affected by something.
Examples:
A susceptible young woman. Susceptible of proof. Well-stretched muscles are less susceptible to injury.
Vital.
Necessary for the success or continued existence of something.
Examples:
Play a vital role. Vital for a healthy society. Perseverance and optimism are vital to success.
Technological.
Based on scientific and industrial progress.
Examples:
Technological advancement. Technological policy. Technological advances have disrupted many industries.
Psychology.
The scientific study of mind and behavior.
Examples:
Psychology experiment. Psychology of crowd. She had a master's degree in psychology.
Philosophy.
The study of general and fundamental questions, such as those about existence, reason, knowledge, values, mind.
Examples:
Philosophy of education. Western philosophy. Ethics is a branch of philosophy.
Reconnect.
To connect again after a break or interruption.
Examples:
Reconnect a telephone. Reconnect with family. After a long period of estrangement, they reconnected with each other.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Concept.
An idea or principle associated with something abstract.
Examples:
Learn new concepts. Concept car. One such rapidly growing concept is quantum cryptography.
Mysterious.
Difficult to understand, explain, or identify, having an aura of secrecy, intrigue, or puzzlement.
Examples:
Mysterious object. Mysterious stranger. The mysterious disappearance of the ship remains unsolved.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Disagree.
To have or express a different opinion, idea, etc.
Examples:
disagree about a particular issue. Disagree with a plan. I disagree for reasons already stated above.
Seductive.
Tempting or alluring attractively or persuasively, often used to describe a person, behavior, or idea that is intended to lure or entice someone into a specific action or belief.
Examples:
a seductive smile. Seductive behavior. The actor's seductive gaze drew the audience's attention on stage.
Argument.
A set of statements or reasons used to support or refute a proposition or theory, a verbal or physical fight or dispute.
Examples:
a blazing argument. The argument against capital punishment. The argument between the two sides over the proposed policy was heated.
Perspective.
A certain attitude towards something, a particular style of thinking about something.
Examples:
a perspective view. Perspective of the battle. His father's death changed his whole perspective on life.
Bias.
A strong feeling in favor of or against one group of people, an idea, or thing, often not based on fair judgment.
Examples:
bias against a big company. Have a bias towards socialism. She researched gender bias in politics.
Illusion.
A false idea or belief, especially about somebody or about a situation.
Examples:
optical illusion. Illusion of being in forest. He could no longer tell the difference between illusion and reality.
Skepticism.
An attitude of doubting or questioning that claims or statements are true or valuable or that something will happen, the disbelief in any claims of ultimate knowledge.
Examples:
natural skepticism. Skepticism toward bureaucracy. This party expresses skepticism about the efficacy of the health insurance system.
Academic.
Associated with schools, colleges, and universities, especially studying and thinking, not with practical skills.
Examples:
academic probation. An academic discussion. An excellent historian must possess an academic mentality.
Bracing.
Refreshing or invigorating, designed to provide support or stability.
Examples:
bracing air. Bracing walk. The athlete performed some bracing exercises to warm up before the game. wise in displaying the ability to make reasonable decisions.
Examples:
A politic decision. Heal the body politic. She was politic in her behavior.
Liberate.
To set free, to release or rescue from captivity or oppression.
Examples:
Liberate people from oppression. Liberate potential. The prisoners were liberated after the war ended.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Self-serving.
Concerned primarily with one's interests and needs rather than those of others, motivated by a desire for personal gain or advantage.
Examples:
Self-serving attitude. Self-serving bias. The politician's self-serving actions were met with criticism from the public.
Disguise.
To hide or alter someone's appearance to deceive or mislead others.
Examples:
Disguise my feelings. Disguise his voice. Later, it turned out that the politician disguised the fact from the public.
Confuse.
To mistake one thing for another, to make somebody hard to understand.
Examples:
Confuse the listener. Confuse fantasy with reality. Her remarks confused the debate.
Difficulty.
A condition or state that causes problems.
Examples:
The degree of difficulty. Difficulty in breathing. He has difficulty exercising because of a back injury sustained in an accident.
Impossibility.
The state or condition of being impossible, something that is not possible or cannot be done.
Examples:
Impossibility theorem. Impossibility of performance. According to the laws of physics, an event happening before its cause is a logical impossibility.
Matrix.
A rectangular array of numbers, symbols, or expressions, arranged in rows and columns and often enclosed in brackets, an enclosure within which something originates or develops.
Examples:
The matrix of Western civilization. Matrix multiplication. The matrix of numbers on the spreadsheet allowed the accountant to track the company's profits and losses easily.
Bullet.
A metal projectile that is shot from a gun.
Examples:
Bullet wound. Bullet train. The stray bullet went through the window and hit the wall.
Flap.
A piece of material attached to a garment, sail, or aircraft which flaps in the wind. Verb, to move in a wavy pattern or with an up and down motion.
Examples:
The flap of wings. Flap out a candle. The flap of the tent was open, letting in the fresh air.
External.
Belonging to or situated outside of someone or something.
Examples:
External factors. External commerce. When a company discloses information to the market, an external auditor verifies them.
Ignore.
To intentionally not listen or pay attention to.
Examples:
Ignore her advice. Ignore a ban. Since independence, the area has been completely ignored.
Nonetheless.
In spite of what has just been said or done, nevertheless.
Examples:
We are nonetheless confident. Love him nonetheless. They each choose nonetheless to battle.
Tempting.
Likely to attract or persuade someone to do something, especially something that may not be wise or safe.
Examples:
Tempting offer. Sound very tempting. The chocolate cake was too tempting for me to resist.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Wrap.
To cover or enclose something entirely with paper, cloth, or other material.
Examples:
Wrap a fish in foil. Wrap up a meeting. Wrap the bandage tightly around the injured arm.
Cozy.
Comfortable and warm, giving a feeling of comfort, warmth, and relaxation.
Examples:
Have cozy relations. Cozy sound of rain. The fireplace made the room feel cozy and inviting.
Faith.
Complete trust in something or someone's ability or knowledge, a strong belief in religion, divine power, etc.
Examples:
Religious faith. Faith in government. He kept his robust faith in his company.
Reaction.
A response that reveals a person's feelings or attitude. In chemistry, a process in which one or more substances are changed into others.
Examples:
Chemical reaction. Trigger a reaction. There was a chemical reaction of the lime with the groundwater.
Phenomenon.
Something that exists and can be perceptible, especially one that is not fully understood.
Examples:
Natural phenomenon. Historical phenomenon. A rainbow is a natural phenomenon.
President.
The leader of a republic, for example, the U.S., the person in charge of the organization, such as a company, university, club, etc.
Examples:
President Emeritus, Vice President for Finance. The club president does not have absolute power.
Elect.
To choose someone for a specific position by voting for them, to decide or choose to do something.
Examples:
Elect the school board. Elect death. Every 5 years, the provincial governors are elected.
Striking.
Interesting and distinctive enough to draw notice, exceedingly appealing, frequently in an odd manner.
Examples:
Striking innovation. Striking evidence. The two plays have a number of striking parallels.
Regard.
To think about or consider somebody or something in a specified way.
Examples:
Regard him as an enemy. Regard the situation as unfortunate. Frugality and industry are still regarded as virtues.
Despotism.
A system of government or rule in which a single person holds absolute authority and exercises oppressive power and control, tyrannical or oppressive rule.
Examples:
Despotism regime. Military despotism. The citizens rebelled against the oppressive despotism of the ruling regime.
Inevitably.
In a manner that cannot be avoided or prevented.
Examples:
Inevitably decline with age. Inevitably reach the consumer. Because of his excellent performance, he will inevitably be promoted.
Survive.
To live or exist despite a dangerous event or period.
Examples:
Survive a blizzard. Survive a plane crash. These birds can only survive in temperate climates.
Torture.
The act of causing intense pain or suffering to someone to punish them, extract information from them, or for some other reason.
Examples:
A torture chamber. An instrument of torture. The use of torture is strictly prohibited under international law.
Protagonist.
The main character in a literary work, film, or other stories.
Examples:
Protagonist of drama. Play a protagonist. The protagonist's triumph over adversity was the theme of this play.
Blacksmith.
A smith who forges and shapes iron with a hammer and anvil.
Examples:
Blacksmith welding. Blacksmith shop. The blacksmith shaped a horseshoe on his anvil.
Convince.
To persuade someone or make someone believe that something is true.
Examples:
Convince her to go with us. Convince an opponent. I am considering what I should do to convince him.
Critic.
Someone who expresses opinions about the quality of books, music, etc.
Examples:
Art critic. Severe critic. Advocates for legal reform hear less harsh words from their critics.
Dissent.
Possessing or expressing views that differ from those that are officially accepted.
Examples:
Dissent opinion. With no dissent. The dictatorship crushes all dissent severely.
Definition.
A concise explanation of the meaning of a word, phrase, or symbol.
Examples:
A precise definition. The definition of a word. Parallel lines are, by definition, lines on the same plane that never cross.
Phrase.
A group of words that mean something specific when used together.
Examples:
Ready-made phrases. Noun phrase. We bought a Spanish phrase book.
Motto.
A phrase or slogan that expresses a guiding principle or goal.
Examples:
The motto for safe traffic. Company motto. The company's motto is innovation and service, which is reflected in its products and customer support.
Enlightenment.
Education that results in understanding and the spread of knowledge.
Examples:
Spiritual enlightenment. Enlightenment activity. He finally brought his enlightenment to perfection.
Dare.
To have the courage to do something.
Examples:
Dare not go. Dare to take risks. I wouldn't dare to speak to him like that.
Reliance.
The state of depending on or needing something or someone.
Examples:
Reliance on social media. Self-reliance and solidarity. He acted in reliance on her naked promises.
Packaging.
The process, materials, or container used to wrap or contain a product for distribution, storage, or sale. The design or appearance of a product's packaging.
Examples:
Packaging materials. Biodegradable packaging. The packaging for the fragile items was made of sturdy materials and could withstand rough handling during shipping.
Shuffle.
To move or mix around in a casual or unorganized way, to walk with short, dragging steps.
Examples:
Shuffle deck. Shuffle from side to side. She shuffled the cards before dealing them to the players.
Assembly.
A group of people who have been elected, especially one that meets regularly and makes decisions or laws for a specific region or country.
Examples:
Assembly line. Assembly hall. This company's assembly plant is an enormous facility.
Precise.
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples:
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Intellect.
The ability to think logically and comprehend information, especially at an advanced level.
Examples:
Enrich my intellect. Human intellect. Your intellect is capable of distinguishing among similar objects.
Outsource.
To contract out or transfer a job, task, or service to an external organization or party, often as a cost-saving measure.
Examples:
Outsource a non-core function. Outsource to India. The company decided to outsource its IT services to a third-party provider.
Offload.
To transfer the responsibility or burden of something or someone to another person or group. To unload or discharge goods or cargo from a vehicle or ship.
Examples:
Offload the van. Offload freight. They offloaded the cargo from the ship to the dock.
Algorithm.
A set of rules or rigorous instructions typically used to solve a specific problem or to perform a computation.
Examples:
The RSA algorithm. Algorithm for image processing. We can evaluate the performance of an algorithm in terms of computation time.
Clutter.
To fill a room or place with so many items that it becomes messy.
Examples:
In a clutter. Clear desk clutter. He accused the tenants of leaving clutter and breaking the security camera.
Awesome.
Inspiring fear, admiration, or respect. Very good, nice, fun, etc.
Examples:
Awesome mental faculty. Have an awesome birthday. There is a lot of awesome nature and food in Hawaii.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
Disease prevention, disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Mathematics.
The science dealing with the logic of quantities, shapes, spaces, and arrangement.
Examples:
A good grounding in mathematics. Mathematics competition. He has a flair for mathematics.
Proof.
A fact or piece of information that shows something is true or exists.
Examples:
Documentary proof. A geometric proof. Proof is better than argument.
Depressed.
Sad and without any hope.
Examples:
Depressed feeling. The market is depressed. After his mother died, he got depressed.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
Creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Insight.
The ability to gain an accurate and deep understanding of people or situations, an accurate and deep understanding of what something is like.
Examples:
A profound insight. Share my insights. We gained various insights by analyzing the vast amount of data owned by the company.
Imaginary.
Existing only in someone's mind.
Examples:
Imaginary number. Imaginary pregnancy. Little children tend to have imaginary friends.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
Experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Overvalue.
To value or estimate something too high, to assign too much worth or importance to something, to assess or appraise something beyond its actual market or intrinsic value.
Examples:
Overvalue stocks. Overvalue assets. It is important not to overvalue material possessions, as they do not bring true happiness.
Encouraging.
Giving hope, confidence, or support, inspiring.
Examples:
Encouraging approval. Encouraging sign. The test results were encouraging and showed improvement.
Daring.
Brave and taking risks.
Examples:
Daring escape. Make a daring face. Her choices become increasingly daring and creative.
Possibility.
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples.
Possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Humility.
The quality or condition of being humble, a low estimate of oneself.
Examples.
Develop an attitude of humility. Lack of humility. We were filled with humility at the sight of the Queen.
Epistemic.
Relating to knowledge, the theory of knowledge, or the nature and limits of knowledge, pertaining to the ways in which knowledge is acquired, justified, or understood.
Examples.
Epistemic knowledge. Epistemic certainty. Philosophers often engage in epistemic debates about the nature of knowledge and truth.
Worldview.
A particular philosophy or cognitive orientation of life or conception of the world.
Examples.
Mainstream worldview. The worldview of the ancient civilization. The war between the two countries was also a battle between competing worldviews.
Improve.
To make or become better.
Examples.
Improve a process. Improve the test score. We want to improve ties between our two countries.
Enhance.
To increase or improve the quality, amount, or strength of someone or something.
Examples.
Enhance value. Enhance the flavor of the vanilla. The new strategy will enhance the profitability of our company.
Enrich.
To make better or improve in quality by adding something else.
Examples.
Enrich a gas with a balloon. Enrich public services. Reading not only increases knowledge, but also enriches life.
Contribute.
To give something, especially money or goods, to provide or achieve something together with other people.
Examples.
Contribute a large sum of money to the fund. Contribute to society. Government workers cannot contribute to political campaigns.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples.
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples.
Responsible action. Responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Stretch.
To make or be capable of making anything longer or broader without hurting or breaking.
Examples:
Stretch along the coast. Stretch a story. Some herds have been observed to stretch hundreds of kilometers.
Arrogance.
Excessive self-confidence or self-importance.
Examples:
Brazen arrogance. Arrogance of power. He acted with arrogance and was not well liked by his colleagues.
Confidence.
The feeling or attitude that one can trust or rely on the abilities or good qualities of someone or something.
Examples:
Confidence as a teacher. Boost my confidence. Skill and confidence are an unconquered army.
Democracy.
A form of government in which the people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation, or to choose governing officials to do so.
Examples:
Democracy advocate. Principles of democracy. Democracy often entails inclusive capitalism as well.
Function.
The purpose or use of an object, system, or process, a particular activity or operation that is designed to serve a specific purpose, a mathematical concept that describes a relationship between two sets of values, called the input and output sets. Verb, to operate or work in a specific way, or to perform a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
Function properly. Immune function. The brain is an incredibly complex organ that controls the body's function.
Strive.
To try very hard to do, achieve, or obtain something.
Examples:
Strive hard to get. Strive for excellence. They strive to make their dream come true.
Inhabit.
To live in a specific location, to reside.
Examples:
Inhabit a cave. Inhabit the stomach. I have no idea what sort of folks inhabit the neighborhood.
Encourage.
To give someone support, confidence, or hope, to persuade someone to do or continue to do something by making it easier for them and making them believe it is a good thing to do.
Examples:
Encourage a sense of affinity. Encourage antisocial behavior. They encouraged customers with a premium for loyal patronage.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples:
A prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.
Terrifying.
Very frightening or intimidating.
Examples:
Terrifying experience. Terrifying events. Large earthquakes often generate terrifying tsunamis.
Expand.
To increase or to make something greater in size, number, or importance.
Examples.
Expand a lineup. Expand agricultural output. They hope to expand their business worldwide.
Wondrous.
Inspiring amazement or admiration, extremely beautiful and impressive.
Examples.
Wondrous sight. Wondrous adventure. The wondrous beauty of the sunset left us all in awe.